Hey everyone, Mark and Joey back here on a Thursday morning. The week going quickly already with great sports every night. It's been fantastic. And last night, no different. Game 7, NHL Stanley Cup Finals. A bunch, tremendous excitement. St. Louis had taken up the Jurassic Park look as we've had with our Raptors and in the NBA, and had people in the stadium, on the roads, everywhere.
In the baseball stadium, and it was pouring rain.
Yeah, pouring rain for them, unfortunately, but that didn't dampen the spirits, and their team delivered the first cup ever in franchise history. Unbelievable for those people.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it obviously in the city, how they react. I mean, it's their first cup. I mean, you talk about Stanley Cup droughts. They never had one, and they've been around for
it's the longest 46 seasons. 47 seasons
wow.
to do it. So
and they've had good teams too. Like, that's what someone said. It's not like they missed the playoffs all these years. They've been to playoffs quite a bit, although never been to a cup final since 1970 either. So it was a long time coming. They had been a good team for a couple of years now, and but still, last place, January 3rd. They're in dead last. Changed the coach, changed the goaltender. Here they are hosting the cup. It was just an incredible story. And the way they did in the playoffs, too, on the road, Game 6, Game 7s, very impressive stuff. What a moment there. It was great to see.
3 away wins in 2 series and 2 away wins in another series.
Yeah.
I'll bet, I didn't see that stat, and we haven't looked it up, actually. It'd be interesting to do. I bet no team's ever won that many games in a row to win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, they went 10-3. They won 3 against Winnipeg, 2 against Dallas. Yeah. They won
3 against Boston.
2 against San Jose, and 3 against Boston.
Right,
so 4 series, yeah. So very impressive stuff. Uncanny. I don't know why they couldn't play at home. If they play at home, these series could have been a wrap way earlier. But it was really amazing to see, and they played great hockey. They had the first defenseman captain to win a cup since 2011, which was Boston 2011.
Yeah.
So their big defenseman Alex Pietrangelo scored last night. Obviously a big leader for this team. He played great, and obviously did a great job captaining the team. And but Ryan O'Reilly was really the guy who scored in 4 straight Stanley Cup Finals games. First one to do it since Wayne Gretzky. And then when it all comes down to it, Jordan Binghamton, as we said, he came in on January 3rd when they're in last place to take them where they are today. Played phenomenal yesterday.
We're gonna do a segment on him because there's a bit of a story behind him, which is interesting for young kids to know about not giving up and disappointment and coming to success.
Right.
So we're gonna do a separate segment on him. But you're right, he really came in, coach changed, goalie changed, and he's been unbelievable.
And I always agree with goaltender changes because as we've seen in the past few years right now is, first of all, young goaltenders seem to be doing really well. Philly had a young goaltender come up, he did really well. I think, with the amount of pressure these goalies take from practice and playing, I think you need more of a balanced goaltending team now. You need to have 2 goaltenders that can take off a lot of games of your starter. That happened with Tuukka Rask. They said he only played half the games this year, and that kept him fresh for the playoffs. I think the one thing if your team's ever struggling is to change the goaltender. So
and youth helps you get through the playoffs. I mean, it is such a burden to get through 4 series, and to be 25 years old is way better than be 30.
25 years old and not have played a whole lot of NHL hockey. So you're just fresh and you're just good to go. And like I said, he outplayed Tuukka Rask really when it came down to it. In the end, Tuukka Rask was bad. But obviously, if you win the Stanley Cup, we're going to say you outplayed the other goaltender. So that's what happened, and great story. 62% of that team is Canadians, so we're very honored. A lot of them said, "I want to see Saskatchewan party tonight. I want to see Markham party tonight. I want to see Winnipeg party tonight." So guys all over Canada playing for that team, which was really awesome. And then, of course, the great story of Layla, the super fan who has a disease, HLN or HLH. I'm sorry, I don't remember, but she has a disease. She's a super fan, and they really brought her along throughout the entire season in the playoffs here. And even to the point that last night, a player went over with the cup, allowed her to put one hand, so she was holding it. Obviously, he was holding it mostly, but she got to put one hand on her like she was holding it, kiss it and everything, and get a couple photos with it. So shout out to St. Louis Blues for including her in the journey here. Obviously, people go through so much. This is what sports are about, really, is to bring some sort of joy into their lives, and obviously it did for her.
Well, and honestly, as we look at sports, not just hockey, but there's so many great stories about athletes and what they do.
Definitely.
And you feel lucky when you're able to watch a game like we do, and all the fans are out on the streets and everything like that. And it's nice that they're working with and remembering people that are suffering through really hard lives. I mean, winning or losing, a Stanley Cup in hockey is nothing compared to what a lot of these people have to deal with, especially kids. And it's awesome. And almost every sports team does it. So this is not a story about the fact that the Blues did something unusual.
Relevant, yeah.
This is really what athletics is all about, and sports is all about. And sports teams do huge work in the community and everything. And we congratulate them for doing that. And that was a special moment last night.
And sometimes we question why we watch sports. You know, at the end of the day, these guys make a ton of money who aren't from our city and who play for our city. But if you see the fans of St. Louis last night, that's why sports exist.
Yeah.
You know, people's lives are not what NHL players get to live. They don't make millions of dollars. So, you know, we turn on sports to live through our sports teams and have reasons to brag over other cities and states and countries, have reasons to celebrate it and have friends and all that stuff. And that's what sports are all about. They bring communities together, bring cities together. And if you ever want to see what that's like, go watch the parades right now in St. Louis.
Yeah.
No one's working today, I can guarantee you that much. It was awesome to see the amount of people, and you know, it's really cool to see that happen. Quick shout out to the 3 Leaf players that won a Stanley Cup.
Former Leaf player, yeah.
Alex Steen. Oh my God, I'm blanking. Oh, Alex Steen. Oh my God, I can't remember.
Okay, I'm going to give you a minute to look at the phone.
Yeah. You got to take.
I also want to give Joey congratulations. If you're looking for reasons to watch our shows outside of our commentary, Joey picked St. Louis in every series through the playoffs. Although he had Vegas, and some of that might even have been personal for us because we love going to Vegas and we love the city and what goes on around their team and all that kind of stuff. Joey did pick St. Louis the first series against Winnipeg, even though he was hoping Vegas would win the other one, go all the way. But his pick, St. Louis, has been with them the whole way. You know, so we've got that kind of information for you. The playoffs were not as kind to me, although I did pick Boston after the second series, so I did get my secondary team there after the Leafs lost.
No, you didn't. You liked Columbus.
I said after the second series, I picked Boston after they beat Columbus.
Against Carolina.
Against Carolina and that. So, hey. And then I did tell you the last 2 games, first goal was going to win. Both times that happened. So I'm trying to get some consolation here. You had the playoffs. I got to give it to you. I've had basketball. My 2 teams of basketball are in the finals, so I'm letting you have.
That's true.
I'm letting you have the hockey victory here. Having picked St. Louis, I never thought it would happen. Every series, I could talk about why they weren't going to win. You talked about how they were going to win. Winning all the games on the road is insane. So anyway, fantastic as we talked about for them. But I wanted to give you the kudos anyway of being with them all the way through.
And we don't have video, but when they were in last place, I said they were going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't have any video of that, but I was picking into that streak when I was picking games. I liked St. Louis the whole time. I knew they were going to be fine, and I did. I picked them throughout the whole entire playoffs. Vegas was my initial choice, but yes, St. Louis got done, so I'm very happy.
But also, as you were... go ahead.
The 3 Leafs real quick. So you got Alex Steen, Carl Gunnarsson, and the most recent Leaf that people will understand, Alex Steen's a little old, Carl Gunnarsson's old. Tyler Bozak left the Leafs this year. You know, they didn't offer him that big of a contract. I don't even know if they offered him a contract, to be honest with you, because the Leafs are loaded. He had to choose between 2 teams, and he chose St. Louis. So he went to St. Louis, and he got his Stanley Cup. Good for him.
Sometimes life just works out for you, eh? So it's awesome. Anyway, that's our general show on the Stanley Cup. It's been a fantastic run. We're going to do some special shows on Binghamton for sure and what he meant to that, the life that he led getting to the NHL. It's, you know, and he was a great goalie as a young kid and junior, and it still was a struggle. We're going to talk about that. We're going to do some other NHL features as well. So keep watching for the NHL. Draft will come up. Lots of things happen over the summer, so we'll be back with more NHL. But congratulations to the Blues. Congratulations for picking them all the way through, Joe. And we'll look forward to chatting more NHL very soon.